Could you give me a foot massage, please? Could you please?
Put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on. Turn into a killer, put the shades on. Stop stalling, the cops are outside. They're gonna break your door down, they're gonna get inside. Smash open your head and put your brain in a cell where it will get screwed and end up in hell. Let me screw your brain with an electric driller, or put the shades on and turn into a killer. Put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on, put the shades on. Turn into a killer and put the shades on. I'm still not going to put you on. Run. I'm gonna kill you. There's no other way to get rid of a creature like you. Oh, please don't eat me. Please don't eat me. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, it's his moon. Oh, I didn't realize you were a werewolf. What? But why were you trying to shoot me then? Well, I thought you were a Uh-oh. I feel paranoid that the cops are going to jump out of the bushes at any moment to capture me. Damn it, I can't even remember killing that cop. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe it was someone else, and I just woke up from a blackout. Yeah. You killed the cop. It was you who killed. Who was that? Who was that? What? Who was that? Oh. I gotta get out of this shirt. Michael, how's it going? Well, not too great, to tell you the truth. Oh, how come? I'm thinking about my father's dying soul. Well, you just tell him that Jesus will save his soul. He no longer has to worry about sin anymore if he accepts Jesus as his Lord and Savior. You think that's gonna do it? Absolutely.
told my own father that. He turned to Christ, and now he's in the kingdom of heaven, eating peeled grapes.
That's all it took.
That's all. Did you tell him that Jesus will forgive all of his sins?
It's not that. That's not what makes me worry about his soul. It's not so much about Jesus, it's just, well, he won't stop putting curses on people.
Well, you have to tell him that if he accepts Jesus into his soul.
No, that's not gonna work. It's funny to him. He said there's no hell, that it was just invented to control the peasants. He said Jesus was a space alien that fooled everyone for a joke.
But that's not even funny. How could that be a joke?
I am the gate, all who enter through me will be safe. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. Those who came before me, thieves and robbers, I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. I am the shepherd, I am the good shepherd. I know mine and mine know me. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through. I am the doorway through. I lay down my life and take it back again. I am the gate, I am the gate, I am the doorway through.
Come through me, will be saved. Oh, come through me, will be saved.
And happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for coming and hanging out with Creative Chaos tonight. I've already got Flatus in the chat saying, Vaughn is great. And this will be the very first time that I'm meeting him, so I'm super excited for that. And for anybody that does not know what Creative Chaos is, it's a stream dedicated to shining a spotlight on independent creators, and I like to call them fascinating people creating fantastic things outside the mainstream. And what the weirdness that we saw at the beginning, I called them our opening cartoons, and that was Nutsilica Renaissance, otherwise known as Michael M., and he is an occasional contributor to Flip City Magazine, so you can see some of his comic work in various editions of Flip City. So thank you so much to Michael M. for providing our opening tunes tonight. And I'm greatly excited to bring in my sidekick, the Batman, if he's done eating his dinner. Hey, Batman.
Hey, 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 what's going on?
Dude, I was so excited to see you backstage tonight.
Why?
Well, because I never get to see you eat your dinner.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm frozen right now on my screen. But
I see you.
you see me
You're
moving?
moving. You're moving
Okay.
back and forth. You're rocking. You're rocking like you have a little childhood trauma.
Oh, just a little. Just a little.
Hey, now I don't want to go too in depth because, of course, we have a guest to bring in and everything. But you went to the inauguration.
I did.
You, and how I understand it by watching you on Three Beermen is they didn't allow you anywhere near Trump, and you hung out in the freezing cold in Washington.
Yeah, I spent 8.5 hours online waiting to get into the Capitol Arena to see President Trump and to hear everybody at the rally on Sunday. And I goofed. It's my fault. I didn't go on the handicap line with my cane, as I could have, with my bad knee and my other disabilities,
Okay.
besides my mental disabilities. But I wound up not getting in, and I was with a crew of 4 other people.
Okay.
And who's the comic relief crusader? Is that Flatus? Flatus is referring to me? Well, thank you,
No,
Flatus.
I am not watching the chat at this very moment.
It's just
But
flying by. I'm just looking at it, and hail at the comic relief crusader. Hope all
oh
is
yeah,
well.
yeah, right here, right here. This is Mike, by the way. Mike is fantastic. We love him.
Okay. And
He
Jay James, yes, I did go to the inauguration. It was a blast.
Jay James is here. We've met Jay James. He came on stream. Not
Oh, there is
gosh,
another.
maybe 3 months ago.
Okay. There is somebody out there that is known as the comic relief crusader. So he wasn't referring to me. He was referring to somebody else in the chat.
It's a really great name, and I'm a little jealous that somebody has it already. But apparently, yeah, that's Mike, and his daughter came up with the name or the handle Comic Relief Crusader for his own stream. So, Mike, it's so great to see you. And yeah, so basically, what I heard is you froze your ass off, but you were dressed to the nines. Like, I almost feel like I want to make a segment whenever you are wearing a fancy outfit during the week. You just like send me a picture so we can show it on stream because
Okay.
you have
We
great style. I love your style.
Thank you. If you have a picture or if Cosmic has it, you can pop it up if you want.
We did not set that up. I did mean to get to Cause earlier in the day to say, hey, grab something of Bruce's or Batman's outfit, but I got busy doing other stuff, so I'm sorry. It was
Okay.
wonderful. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
What I would suggest is that people watch last week's Three Beermen stream, and you can see pictures of the Batman, otherwise known as Bruce Q. Wayne, in his fancy digs. All right. Well, I think I'd like to jump right in tonight, but before we do that, let me just double check the chat here. I want to make sure I say hello to everybody. Sarah S. and they're going, oh Lord, for some reason. I don't know why. Also, thank you, flat ass fire, flat ass. I like that. I'm just gonna start calling you flat ass. And George Washington X, thank you for coming back. And yes, we agree. Michael M's artwork is great. He's got his own style. And Flatus also said that he got his latest Flip City magazine, and he just needs to find the time to look through it. And of course, Madness Entertainment Group, huge shout out. We are streaming to platform over there to Madness Entertainment Group, previously known as Madness Comic Network. So I'm really grateful for partnering up with the Madness Entertainment Group, because we have not only more places to stream, but I've met so many great independent creators because of you. So thank you. Thank you for that. Did I miss anybody? And then, of course, Comic Relief Crusader coming in, and then Bat Sauce with the beep beep and the hail. What is up, Bat Sauce? Good to see you. All right. And then also, because I just don't see the Batman on screen, I'm going to ask everybody to like, share, and subscribe wherever you're watching this. It helps us with that weird
I am right here. I'm
elusive
sorry.
algorithm thing.
Yes, absolutely. Like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, hit the gold pill. Oh, send us some gold pills if you're on Pilled. But for some reason, Cosmic, just a heads up, I don't see us appearing on Pilled. That's what I was in the middle of checking on. So
Yeah,
I don't
we're
know.
on. We're on. I'm
You're
over
seeing
there in the chat, and of course, I'm sorry, Pilled. I didn't check from in studio. I see you guys, Paul Thaddeus and Agent Feisty Mango, checking in over there and dropping some Flip City stickers. So, hello, guys. Good to see you over on Pilled as well.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
so drop
I
us
saw
a red pill. If you're not sticking around the whole time, just drop us a red pill on your way out. But I'd love to see you guys dropping more stickers over there, because pill.net has the best chat features in the whole world. If you don't know what pill.net is, just go over there, check it out. It's a super fun streaming platform and absolutely free speech. One way I like to describe it is you will find something that will offend you. I'm not freaking kidding you. You think you cannot be offended? Go to pill.net and just, test your mettle. Would you agree with that assessment?
I don't get offended by stuff on Pilled. I just ignore stupidity.
Well, that's interesting, because I think that's how I function on Pilled as well. Because I think it's a great exercise. If you think you're somebody that cannot be offended, go find something that you might find offensive, and because you can't control what other people do, you can only control your reaction to it. Am I right?
Yep, absolutely. 100%.
All right. Okay. What do we do now? Oh, yeah. We promote
bring in
Flip
our
City
guest.
Magazine. No.
Oh.
We have to plug the
wait.
magazine first. But we're not really plugging tonight. I just wanted to show you something. Thank you. And everybody, take note of that cover. Please take note of that cover, because we're going to bring up an email I received as a response to a promotional e-blast that I sent out recently. Unfortunately, what I'm going to be telling you, this is all about that the promo's actually over. But this is why you should join our email list. All right. So I sent out an email. It was on Inauguration Day, saying, "Hey, to celebrate, because we're super excited Trump's back in office, because we're expecting the economy to thrive. So we're going to give you a free magazine." The magazine that Batman held up was the free magazine that we were giving away for 2 days only, right? And this is the response that we got from somebody that was a 2-year subscriber. So I don't know if anybody wants to post theories as to what happened here. Please do. So this old 2-year subscriber, we're trying to win him back with a free magazine, says, "Trump is an old dementia-addled, morally insane, pathological liar. Your fucked up MAGA party is going to destroy America with a K. Enjoy the end of democracy, you fucking morons. And
Wow.
so
Wow. I
now
would have
me.
responded.
So here's the game. And you guys through the night, anybody in chat, please, if you want to throw out a theory or a way to respond, please do. But the first thing when we read it, actually Scott read it first and is like, hey, you got to check out this email. He's like, I should respond. Oh, sorry, you're on our Patriot list. We have a different email for libtards or something like that. And we laughed, and we have not responded yet, right? Flatus, I don't know why. Because I suck at email marketing, Flatus. I do not know why you didn't get the email, dear. Oh, it's probably because you're already a subscriber. That's why I don't want to tell our already subscribers that we're giving away a free magazine. It's all email marketing. I'm trying to get those new subscribers in. And Mike, you didn't get it because you live in Canada and international shipping sucks. Anyway, so if anybody wants to, number one, post a theory as to what happened there. Like, this is somebody that was subscribed for 2 years, but then came back with that kind of response. I personally think it was husband that was subscribed, right? Wife hated it. Wife saw the email and emailed us. I don't know. Do you have a theory why we got that kind of response?
Yeah, he was probably a subscriber during COVID and figured he had nothing better to do, so he subscribed to the magazine.
Okay. Now, do me a favor, though, because you have it right there and I have to reach behind me. Can you just show the cover again? Oh, you had to reach behind you, too, but you have longer arms. That is not a complimentary image of Trump. I mean, he looks terrible.
It's
and
not
he's dressed
flattering
up
at all.
It's not flattering at all. So why would somebody be so triggered? Is it because I said we're expecting the economy to do better?
Because you said we're welcoming Trump back into office.
I guess so. All right. Well, anyway, everybody, fucking moron here, and it's the end of our democracy.
Hey, you know what I'd respond? Go find a safe space to cry in. Adios, muchachos.
Yeah, and your fart face. Anyway, so for anybody that is not already subscribed, sorry, you already missed the deal. If you really, really, really want the deal, subscribe now, flipcitymag.com, and email me. Email me, and I will send you that free magazine, even though the promotion is over. Because I'll do that for anybody that's watching live. And
All
that
right,
was our promo for tonight.
Absolutely. Remember, like, subscribe, ring that bell, hit that red pill, send us some gold pills, and make sure you subscribe.
Yes. And here, okay, I'm going, before we bring our guest in, hello, Filminex. It is so super duper nice to meet you. You know, this is an interesting comment because that is, I actually very much agree with you. Politics is jammed into everything. And that's the thing. Something that gets tied to our magazine all the time is that we're political satire. We're actually not. We are social commentary, but because politics is jammed into everything, we get called a political satire. And I don't know. I feel that this is swinging as well. You know, I feel like there will eventually be a separation. But, you know, once DEI is kind of dead and buried and political correctness, will that ever go away? I don't know. No matter what, Flip City Magazine is going to keep doing social commentary, and if politics is jammed into it all, I guess we'll continue to be a political satire magazine because it's in everything. Anyway, all right. I'm super excited for our guest tonight. Are you ready to meet him?
I am, but before I let you move on, I just have to say one thing. Joke them if they can't take a fuck.
I like it. I like it. Damn. Now I'm going to say it like that. I'm going to joke them if they can't take a fuck.
Exactly.
All right. Here we go. So our guest tonight, his name is Vaughn Coleman. And he's a writer, filmmaker, actor, and comic book editor with his entertainment company Rebel Oasis Studios, championing creative independence and freedom of expression, which you know I can get on board with. Mike Barron says Vaughn has big ears, but I've seen others posting that he has a big mouth. We'll be the judge of that when we get him in here after this trailer for his second comic in the series entitled Phenomenova. Hit it.
I just want it to be like the Crusader Corps. Like my father. I thought with my new powers I could be. But I failed. I let everyone down. I got people hurt. I just wanted to make the world a better place. And instead I made things worse. But now I have the chance to make things right with the help of one of the Crusader Corps. The Phoenix Section. And I will. I have to. Whatever it takes. I will find that spark again.
How's it going?
Vaughn. Hello, sir.
Great to finally meet you.
It is so nice to meet you as well. And I didn't even prime you because I've been talking on my at Kitty Flip City. My name's not actually Kitty. It's
What?
a character. I know. My name's
They were
Christy.
named
Nice
after,
to meet you.
They were named after the X-Men character.
I don't know about that.
You don't know Kitty Pryde? You're listening to
I got
Kitty
the
Pryde? You don't know Kitty
I got the
Pryde?
reference,
dude.
Vaughn. I got the reference.
I expose I expose
She's
myself
Colossus's-
constantly.
She's Colossus' girlfriend.
Who's?
She's
Colossus.
she's a well-known one of my favorite X-Men. I'd put her in my top 3 actually.
Really? Wow.
Nice.
Apparently it's
Okay, well, we're gonna ask you some more questions about your faves in just a minute, but let's get into the intro and say hello and meet Vaughn.
Hi, Vaughn.
How you doing?
I'm good. And so my name's Christy. This is Batman, otherwise known as Bruce Q. Wayne. Neither are his real names, but
I got it.
So
people
wait.
love you. People love you, and I've been wanting to meet you. So thank you so much for coming on Creative Chaos for me to abuse you a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's standard affair. Standard affair. Really.
Yeah.
So wait, I have to ask the first question to really start the abuse. I have to ask, Vaughn, when did you get out of diapers, please?
When did I get, it was actually last week. Really.
Okay.
Really,
Because
I
you are so
finally- I
fucking young. You're
Decided.
making me look old.
I finally decided, probably about time to get out of diapers. It only took 25 years. So
All right. Well, Batman, I'm not used to you being the mean one. All
I'm
right.
not being mean. That wasn't
that's
wasn't
not
meant
an
to be
insult.
mean.
I'm young.
Wasn't meant to be
What?
mean.
Baby's got his bottle.
Yeah, this is my baby bottle. His name is Sam Adams.
All
Keep the
right, all right, all
Marauder.
right. Cheers, and one of the best ways, and this was Batman's idea to bring this segment in, and I just really really love it. It is called Fanboys for Us, and it is a rapid fire question thing for us to get to know you and your fanboy status
Oh, here we go.
as quickly as possible. So we're gonna get into that segment right away.
All right.
Okay. Rapid fire answers right off top of your head. Just come up with the answer as quick as you can. Favorite movie?
The Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, a good one. Okay. Favorite artist? Any genre, any medium.
I think I'm still gonna go Jim Lee, but that might be changing. I don't know. Sylvester's going on.
Ooh.
Jim Lee is my classic because my first comic was Batman Hush, so it'll always have a special place in my heart. But I don't know. Others are growing on me.
Sylvester's a good choice. I'm not going to argue with that. And Lee is, of course, always.
Hey, can you
a
tell
team-
like X-Men? I don't know. Don't. I like X-Men.
Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food? I'll go with like filet mignon.
All right, so you're a meat eater. I can handle that. That's a good thing.
Very fancy as well.
Yeah, we had a vegan on once the other time, a few weeks back. I don't know. It was just
We
interesting.
did?
You say that like it was like a freaking like we had a vegan. Like someone that eats different.
Yeah.
I'm like,
vegan
I'm
on.
banning them from Creative Chaos.
Yeah.
All right. Favorite drink, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, doesn't matter.
Favorite drink? Well, God, that's a good one. Favorite drink? I guess like hot chocolate's pretty good. Is that weird?
Okay.
To say that?
No, not at all.
It was either gonna
Not
go
at
that or like milk, orange juice, or bourbon. Weird
Ooh,
mix.
a bourbon
That's why I
man,
went.
too,
My,
huh?
when you said alcoholic or non-alcoholic, my mind was like going to like 4 or 5 different directions.
That's okay. So we got them all. We got the milk, the hot chocolate, the orange juice, and the bourbon. Just don't
All at
mix them all
once.
together. Just don't mix
see,
them all
that's not
together
good.
because that won't taste very good. No.
I don't.
No,
I just
you'll
know
be-
that.
Yeah, for sure. Favorite character, any genre?
Batman, greatest fictional character.
I like this kid. All right. Favorite band?
Foo Fighters. Though I do love live. You know, I just saw them recently. They were with Stone Temple Pilots, but I'd still say Foo Fighters is my number one right now.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That actually completes our questions, and we got a quick feel as to who you are, and so I'm liking some of your answers.
Oh, some of them, huh? Which one didn't you like?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I didn't not like any of them. Just different tastes, different strokes for different folks. And I mean, he is the baby of the group. I don't think we've had anybody 25 years
Well-
of age on the show yet. They're all at least 35 or 40, but
Exactly, and he made it very clear because this was the most rapid fire responses we ever got, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had a brain like that.
It has its moments. It's slow in other areas. You know, I'm either really fast or really slow. Sometimes both at the same time, which is really, it's called ADHD. You know, so that's typically how explains a lot of how my brain works.
Yes.
Well-
Okay. Understood. Are you ready to get into like actually while you're here, which is promoting your comic, right? You
Sure.
want to talk about Phenomenova?
Sure.
Because I don't know much about it besides what I read on your most recent crowdfunding, which you launched on Fund My Comic, and I love that. So why don't you give us first your elevator pitch for Phenomenova? What's it all about?
So Phenomenova is a coming-of-age superhero story set in a world that's survived World War III. 20 years ago, World War III ended. And in this world, superhumans fought during the war. And now we are following the next generation of teenage / young adult superheroes rising up, being trained by some of the heroes that fought during the war. One of the heroes that fought during the war. So that is what it is.
Right. And then your main character, Miles, the one that on a lot of your covers, there's a lot of lightning and stuff. He kind of looks like you.
A little bit, a little bit. Yeah. See, I never deny it either.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
you're a natural blonde?
Yes.
You're so lucky.
So I gotta ask. You have it looks like you've taken a lot of inspiration from many different areas and many different comic books. I see Lady Shiva in there. I see Justice League in there. I see what was the one that was on Netflix just recently? The Incredibles? No, the
Invincible. That was
Invincible.
Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon. Yeah. So I see a lot. Am I close?
I mean, I pull from a lot of different stuff, I guess. Invincible, actually, I haven't read. I need to, but I've seen the first season. I would say I pull from a lot of stuff, and it's funny. It's always funny because people see different things. Everyone pulls from everything, and then channels it differently. I pulled like a lot from the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. Really got me into superheroes, and I got into it through the movies first. But what really made me go, yeah, I'm doing comics, is I was reading Chris Claremont's X-Men run, and then New Mutants, and I've been reading. I'm almost done with it. I read 275 just the other day, so I'm near the end of that run. But yeah, I would say
Man, these were books that were out before you were born.
yes. I remember actually I was getting stuff signed by Walt Simonson. At one point he goes, "Were you even alive when any of these came out?" I was like, "No." But look, true classics, they never go out of style, right? And let's see. I have to finish it, but like New Teen Titans, Stan Lee's Spider-Man, Young Justice was a show that really inspired me a lot when I was younger. The Justice League animated, all the DC animated universe stuff inspired me. I pulled from as much of that as I can, and then I pull from comics. Everything, real life mixed with my inspirations. I always try and learn from the masters who came before me, even if that just means reading their work.
Right. Are you a fan of? Have you? Because you said Batman early on as your favorite all time. As you know, it's already mine, as you can tell. But my question to you is, did you get into the Nightfall, Night Quest, Night's End trilogy yet?
I've started it. I've been putting it off since I was little, but I've read parts of it when I was in middle school, and I never read all of it. Now I'm friends with Graham Nolan, so it's like, why haven't I read it? So I'm going to finish Claremont's X-Men run, and then I think I want to read, I'm debating if I want to start with Nightfall, if I want to, the thing is, it's a monumental task, just read all of that run. I've read parts of it, but I was reading it digitally, and I didn't realize they had to jump between Batman and Detective Comics, so I was like, why am I missing chunks of the story? Because I was just reading either the Batman or Detective Comics. So I've read the issue where he breaks Batman.
Compendium.
I do have it. But then the worst part is there's multiple different versions. Like Prelude to Nightfall overlaps with the... So I'm just going to get that, and that's it. The Claremont run, I read every single spin-off, and I realized I didn't have to read all of them. So I think I'm going to read Nightfall. That's high on my reading list. Because I've read a lot of Batman graphic novels and watched shows and stuff, but I feel like I haven't done a deep dive of a full run yet. And I've been putting off Nightfall, but now after that I've read almost read Chris Claremont's whole X-Men run. That's good. 3 omnibuses, come on. Baby numbers. I started with, so Claremont's run was 94. I'm at 275. I've read 97 issues of New Mutants. So now it's like, these are rookie numbers.
Yeah.
What is it? 60 something of X Factor, plus a bunch, all the Marvel comics with Zant's Wolverine. And it's like, compared to that, I could get through Batman. Nightfall.
Well, after you do the Nightfall, but after you do the Nightfall, the Night Quest, Night's End trilogy, you do need to follow forward and go with the Prodigal Son storyline, where I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's mostly about Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson is Batman in that, right?
Yeah. Okay. You know what you're talking about.
I just haven't. I was thinking about this in the car earlier. Like, is Tim Drake is one of my favorite characters, and I feel like I haven't read that much with him. But like even just Lonely Place of Dying, and I love him in all media that he's in. Tim Drake is one of my favorite characters. I need to read more of him, but everything I read him in, I love him. So I want to read that whole run by Chuck Dixon, and yeah.
So what draws you? What draws you to Tim Drake as opposed to any of the other Robins?
I'll tell you. So Tim Drake was kind of. I remember I was having ideas in my head, and I was like, "Well, so Dick Grayson's Nightwing, like," and I was knowing the lore, but it wasn't until I actually read Death in the Family and A Lonely Place of Dying were in a trade paperback. It was one of the earlier comics I read, and just like they did in the '80s, which again, true classics don't go out of style. It was like it. Not only does it win you over on the idea of why Batman needs Robin, but it wins you over as Tim Drake, this new character. He wins all the characters in the story over. And what I love about Tim Drake is he's like the perfect culmination of the Robins. He's the first one that really earned the right. Like, because Batman was like, you can come right in to the other two. And he was the one where it's like his story perfectly ties them all together because he was there the night Dick Grayson's parents were killed. And then he figures out Jason Todd's death. He is so smart that he figured this out, and he's like training himself to get in there, and that I just love that. I love that he earned the right to be Robin. I love that he has this innate sense of responsibility. He's like he knows his place. He's a great soldier, a great leader, and I don't know. I just love that about him. I love that he really earned the right to be Robin, and he's admirable in that way.
All right. It looks like we lost Bruce, which is okay because rather than talking about superheroes in comic books origin stories, I was really interested in knowing your own origin story. Sounds like you kind of touched on it already by saying that you were brought into comics via movies and then decided to start checking out printed, the printed media and everything. What was that journey like for you to do that?
I mean, yeah, it was like. So I was into superheroes and stuff. I'd do that on the playground. And I remember I'd read up on extra lore whenever I can, and then I'd be like, the movies didn't do this character right. Like I remember there was this Lego Batman thing, and it was in a magazine. It had character profiles of all the heroes and villains that were in the game, and I would rip the sheets out and study them. Okay, so Tim Drake is Robin, but Dick Grayson was Nightwing, and then someone would say, well, Dick Grayson was Robin first. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I remember I would just really go into the lore and get all the merch and all of that. But I never really got into the comics for a while. I had the Spider-Man Ultimate Guide where I'd read all of that, and that had stuff from the comics. But even then, I still never really read the comics. And then it wasn't until I'm in sixth grade, and I had started this new school, and then I come home, and this show, in the first episode of Batman the Animated Series, it's a rerun, is on. And I made it like a routine, like every day, unless something came up, I would come home from school and watch an episode of Batman the Animated Series. And I've seen most of the series. I still technically haven't seen it all, but by that, it was 2011. And then around that same time, Batman Arkham City comes out. And so it was the perfect storm. And then by that Christmas, I was like, all right, I've been playing all this media. I really want to get into the comics that all this is pulling from. Like, I think it's way past time. So I was looking it up, and I was like, what are the most well-known ones? And Batman Hush came up, and then also there was this... I still never finished it, but there was like this collection of the greatest Batman stories ever told. And from there, I started reading like Long Halloween and a bunch of other stories, and I'd branch out from there. And that really got me into it. And then I still majored in film. I always wanted to be a filmmaker. I'd watch all the DC animated movies and stuff first, and then I'd read some comics sometimes. But I remember when I was in college, I caught the comic bug again. I'd catch it every couple years or whatever, but I caught it harder than ever. And for some reason, I had this itch to read X-Men. And so I was recommended by multiple people to read Giant Size X-Men #1 and then into Claremont's run. And I knew it was a crazy long run, but for some reason, I don't know, I just did it. And I started, and it was like the way it would go, story after story after story after story. I kind of fell in love with the medium and realized that like I have all this energy, all these big budget stories I want to tell. You know, I'm doing the budgeting work for film. I have to sell the rights to a studio if I have a dream of making it. And even then, there are a million people like that. And then there was also an indie comics movement. I was kind of like, comics seem like the perfect thing for me. And also, I just love the medium. And so I really started getting into comics. In
Okay.
college.
Well, how did you come across the indie comics sphere? To kind of know this was an option for you.
God, it was a what was it? I think it was seeing videos like talking about the current state of entertainment because it was like everything was infected with like really on the nose politics, and it wasn't even just on the nose. It was straight up changing characters I was attracted to or I liked for whatever reason, for dumb reasons, and I was really annoyed. And I was like, "Is there an alternative?" And I remember finding a video. I can't say exactly what it was because would dip in and out, but it was either uh, it was either Eric July's videos or Ethan Van Sciver's, someone's. I know Ethan I found through a video that had nothing to do with politics. It was a video on like, oh, they killed off my character at DC, and I didn't know anything about Jessica Cruz, but I was like, oh, comic book creator making videos about and commenting on the industry. I had never seen that before, so it had nothing to do with politics or any of that. And then I would just kind of start following all these other creators, and eventually I started tuning into live streams, and that
Right.
led to that. And I was like, oh, there are people crowdfunding in all these mediums. Let me tune into them. So I started tuning in. And from there, I just kept going and going. And then I started hanging out with people at cons. And then I got invited on a live stream. And I was like, I could keep going on there. So I got the link. Like, I didn't even ask for it. I got the link and I started going, you know what? I've had this YouTube channel for years. Why don't I start live streaming and then marketing my comic that I'm already working on? And finally, yeah, that's how it came about. I like making YouTube videos. I have for like 11 years. And I'm liking streaming now. And I like making comics. So it was kind of like a nice fit.
Fantastic. I love that origin story actually. Something that real quick before I get into this next thing, I just gotta say what is up to a few other people that have popped in and said hello. Bloodline Josh Perry, I've never seen you in my stream. Hello and welcome. And he also says a good evening. And Diller Draws was really kind of giving you the thumbs up on your deep lore knowledge, along with you, I think, too, Batman.
You mirrored me out of context, dude.
And then let's see, that's all I've got for the moment. But of course, as always, our lead parody artist Ben Sullivan popping in to say hey all, and I just gotta say, Ben is absolutely my friend.
Hey Ben, you're my friend, Ben, you're my friend, you're the best old Ben there's ever been, never been a Ben like Ben.
Ben. Poor Batman cannot hear anything. I do not know why. Are you hearing me, Vaughn?
Yeah, I'm hearing.
Okay, wonderful. Batman? I don't know. Okay, shoot. I do not have a 25-year-old's brain, and I had a burning question, and I already forgot what it was. But that is why I keep notes up. Something that interests me. Something that interests me is that you funded on Fund My Comic in 16 days. And correct me if I'm wrong, that is the platform you launched on, correct? And
for issue 2?
Yes, for issue 2.
Mm-hmm. In January, too, which is, not a good month to launch.
Exactly. That's why at the very beginning of the stream, I said, people obviously love you, Vaughn.
Evidently, which is always good, because I'm like, I was like, should I launch in January? I'm like, well, I got to launch sometime. I have like basically a book that's complete. I'm going to be marketing anyway, so might as well launch, and we'll see who really comes out. And people like me, and this is, I know more will come in, as the economy gets better and whatnot. And I'm like, if people want the product, they want the product. That's the truth. I was like, was issue 1 a cosmic fluke? Let's find out. And it wasn't. So that's good.
Right. And real quick, for anybody that doesn't know, Vaughn's issue 1 was a fat comic. It was like over 60 pages.
Yes, issue 2 is much smaller.
Way to sell it.
Yeah. It is. It's a quick read. It's a faster turnaround. Yeah. But the first one was chunky. The big boy.
Well, let me ask you this, because you may not know, or I definitely do not know, and I could save this for the mansplain segment, but I'm going to ask you right now. So what it appears that you're doing, you launched on Fund My Comic, and you made your goal over there in, I think it was 16 days, and then now you're launched on Indiegogo, and then have a plan to launch on Kickstarter at some point. Can you tell me the method behind your madness?
Honestly, I just Kickstarter. I mean, Kickstarter is one I'm really gonna like pull out the guns for and reevaluate. I'm dealing with balancing a lot of work, and I keep adding more to it, and I have to stop. But I mean, with issue 1, I launched Indiegogo and Kickstarter together because I was like, Fund My Comic and Indiegogo are basically the same audience. If anything, I thought the Fund My Comic audience would be smaller. Maybe it's just different, but it's like so far not a lot of bites on Indiegogo. But I thought I just keep that option open in case there's anyone that will only back on Indiegogo. And here's the thing: if not even $500 worth of people are in that camp, probably won't use it. If you want the book badly enough, they'll back it on whatever. But Indiegogo, I was kind of like, here you go, have at it. If you guys want it on Indiegogo, you can get it there. I believe in no customer left behind. I'm not in a place where I could really be picky, but I got 40 something backers and almost $2,000 raised with issue 1. So I was like, well, here's issue 2. So it seems like my core base will back me, wherever I go, which was Fund My Comic, which takes a significantly smaller portion. But some people aren't ready to make the jump. Like, hey, you mentioned Pilled and Rumble, and I know I should be using those, but I've been using YouTube because I'm comfortable there. That's the honest to God truth. So it's totally fine if people are just comfortable with Indiegogo. No problem.
Right. Well, I mean, gosh, I am a huge supporter of like the small indie platforms, but I do find myself always going back to YouTube, and I want to smack myself in the head. Because I'm like, no, support the independents, and I'm always on YouTube. I don't know why, I just do.
Well, yeah, it could be a number of reasons, right? And that's why we want to eventually get back to getting mainstream attention as much as we can. And I think there's something really special about the grassroots feel. It really gives a sense of community, and it's almost like we're closer to our fans, in this way. There's no like corporate whatever going on here. I'm not answering to someone else. I'm answering to myself, and then, making sure my customers get the books that they pay for. And that's really it. And when I'm investing, I know people are doing it with me, but it also, I think what issue 2 also showed was people like issue 1, and they want to see more. They want to see the story continue, which is very nice to hear. And hopefully they'll want 3. You know.
Fantastic. And I don't know if you, because you were talking, Madness Entertainment Group says tonight you are on Pilled and Rumble. And that's the thing too. I kind of liked the point that you made, is that it seems like we might be getting a little more mainstream, especially if you're not getting immediately banned off YouTube and all that kind of good stuff. But on that note, I don't know. First off, I don't know what's going on with Batman. He was not being able to hear us, and we're going to see if he joins us again. But in the meantime, Vaughn, I'm going to take you into mansplain
Mm.
because yes, I believe men don't have enough time to express themselves freely, and I like to learn from men. And I'm not as rude as Batman calling you a baby. I know you're a man. I don't know if he hears us at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into mansplaining because I have a burning question for you.
All right. Let's do
You
it.
see, when someone lacks the brainpower to thoughtfully navigate their way through a subject or idea, they need it to be explained to them, preferably by a man.
So good.
All right. So I have this thought a lot
Hmm.
about youngifying the audience for print magazines, or for print things. For me, I say magazine because I run a magazine, right? And you made a post on Twitter today that I was like, wow, this is a great thing for mansplaining. You say that your goal is to bring in the younger audience. I have my own theory as to what's going to happen because we have so many people out there saying Prince dead, and wanting to black pill, all of us independent creators. I'd love you to mansplain how we can youngify the audience and get the young people excited for reading print media again.
God, I'm still figuring that myself, so I could tell you
I'm
my
sure you
thoughts.
have
I just
thoughts, though.
tabled
Yeah.
at my first con. I'll be at another one this weekend. It's tough, but I got getting people around my age I was able to do. I think people want, here's the thing, people crave something that's instant gratification, which is why I treat crowdfunding like a means to an end, not the end itself. But I think you want them to, like, I have sample copies. I'm like, you could feel it on the table, and then they'll kind of hold it. They'll be like, oh, we'll look through. This is really nice. And then so now that they've felt it, they don't want to let it go, and they'll pay for it. That I think is a good option, and that's why I think kind of the grassroots route kind of works. Like I'll give you it's all about salesmanship, and I think it's almost like we're starting from the grassroots again. With the convention scene, I think is going to be big for me. It's a big investment, but could be a big payoff. I think print is tough, especially because normally we get there through the digital media. I find out about a comic I want to get, I go to the store to get it. I find out about it through social media, and it's tough. It's tough because it used to just be something that's there. And when kids are walking around with their parents, they're like, "Oh, that's cool," and they look at it with their parents. But if they're at a convention, probably one of the parents had an interest and brought them there. Um, so how do we get kids to read physical media? It's tough, but you got to put it in front of their faces. But again, that's the easy answer. We all know we don't have mass distribution options right now, especially if you're independent. So it really, and this is where it gets tough, is that we're kind of outclassed always in the indie scene. We can't pay as well for people. We can't print as much. We can't distribute it as far, which is why we need to kind of invest.
Have you
And
thought about using TikTok?
I use it. I use it.
Yeah, Vaughn's actually really good at the shorts, I've noticed.
Yes, I use them a lot. I've gotten people very upset with me. I had a debate, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" I was like debating someone on TikTok that was like, "Your responsibility is not to like offend people." I'm like, "No, it's not. My responsibility is to tell a story." But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, TikTok. You got to use, like I said, all the avenues we can. You can have complaints about every platform, but at the end of the day, sometimes you have to just use them because you go too far in your corner. In an echo chamber, the world forgets you exist.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the thing I think online is it's kind of, I think it goes hand in hand with confirmation bias. So we
Mm.
all kind of trap ourselves in the echo chamber and forget to look on the outside of that. But just kind of on the topic of, because I do want to share with you and get your feedback on, if you think I'm kind of on the right track on this, is the way I see it with like physical print media and everybody freaking out that it, or not everybody freaking out, but saying it's dead and things like that, is you see over and over, and I think I'm connecting this with the rise and want and need for the vinyls in the younger people. They love collecting vinyl records, which everybody said was dead and was dead for a while. I feel like that's actually going to be the saving grace, of print media, is like eventually people are going to get tired of always being on their device and kind of crave and want to like bring this reemergence of like collecting physical media. Do you think I'm on the right track?
Yes, I think so too. I think so I mentioned the X-Men run. There was a point I started off physical, and then at the time they didn't have all the trades. One day I'd love to own it all physical, but I would own, when I'd get to certain events, I'd buy trades because I just couldn't do the omnibuses for everything. But I think discovering stuff through online, kind of like how you get a show, like the Penguin came out, right? Everyone would go and watch the show on their devices. And then eventually when the Blu-ray comes around, I want that. I'll get it, Not everyone has to, but I think that's good. And I think it'll be a similar thing with comics. Right now I'm keeping a physical option because even though it is way more expensive than the comic, than the digital, right now, at least the audience I have prefers that. But listen, if my audience decided they were mostly digital, it would save me a lot of money. But I also, of course, love physical comics. There's a lot of reasons, not logical reasons, to go fully digital. But the fact of the matter is there is a demand. Whether it's smaller or not is irrelevant because that demand will cry for it and they'll pay more for it. And I think we have to be careful of saying comics don't have to go niche. They don't. But print media, at least in the U.S., might start getting niche. These individual volumes, they might start getting niche. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, and I'm going to tell you a little anecdote. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Just a quick. What happened to Playboy magazine?
I don't know what happened.
What happened to it?
They went digital.
All digital. So there's no more print. For how long?
Well, it was before Hugh Hefner died. So what's that, 10 years already? 8 years already?
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know.
Well, I have digital and physical options. You can even read the first 10 pages of issue 1 for free, and then if you like it, there's, ways to get it.
Right.
I don't know. I'm sure all of us have heard the internet's forever. Are we 100% certain of that?
No.
Do you think most people are 100% certain of that?
No one can be 100% certain of it because no one knows for a fact.
Right. Anyway.
Also, the internet hasn't even been around long enough, so it's kind of a funny phrase in that sense, because it's like...
It really is, but you see it everywhere. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think the internet's forever, The plug can be pulled,
Yeah, I definitely spend too much time in there, but I need to, and apparently my marketing works, because, here I am, and people know who I am, so...
Cool. All right. I think I was sufficiently mansplained to. Thank you so much, Vaughn.
Oh, of course.
For your insight on that. And one of my favorite segments we're going to get into next, and I think a few of our regular viewers love it as much as I do. This is one way I like to make our guests get to know me. Is I'm an unashamed conspiracy theorist, and we're going into conspiracy corner to find out how much of one you are.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
Okay, here we are. I've got my ultra protective tinfoil hat on. because this is what keeps us from being banned, at least outright banned on YouTube. I'm sure I'm shadow banned, but that's okay. I will accept it.
I don't know if I am or if I'm not. I can never tell.
If
I
you're
think I
banned,
am.
oh, shadow banned?
Yeah, lately I've been doing all right.
Well, you have a decent amount of subscribers, don't you?
Yeah, but I've been on for 11 years. So I also think it's because I'm very unfocused in some ways. So I think that's part of it. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you just kind of a breakdown of number one, why we do Conspiracy Corner. You do not
Okay.
actually have to be somebody that hops down rabbit holes and all that kind of stuff. You literally can make stuff up
Okay.
on anything in this corner. But I've made the corner because basically, in my opinion, anybody that doesn't agree with mainstream narratives is basically a conspiracy theory. Would you agree? A theorist? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I remember like I said something because at a certain point it goes, "Hey, this is weird. This doesn't add up to this. This doesn't add up to this." And then I remember one time bringing it up to my friend, and they're like, "I don't like your conspiratorial angle."
Love it.
I was like,
All right.
all right.
All
I mean,
all right.
so conspiracy theory, like people also misuse the term. But I mean, I don't know. I think I guess what it boils down to is I just believe what I believe and I don't believe what I don't believe. Like conspiracies happen,
Right? I mean,
objectively.
it really kind of is a thing. We can go on. We're not even really into the game yet. I'm going to explain the game to you. So I
Let's
have
do
this
it.
conspiracy wheel, right? And it has all kinds of conspiracy theory topics. And cause if we can bring up the wheel, we'll do that, and I'll explain to Vaughn how this wheel works. All right, so I just see Cosmic Grandpa there, but I'm sure he will fix that and turn it into the wheel in one moment. So basically, this wheel comes up, and this is how the wheel works. You get 3 spins.
Okay.
You can stop on the first or second subject if you want to talk on those subjects. But if you want to spin the wheel a third time, you're stuck with whatever that third topic is. And there's a lot of topics, you will see. And I'm just not seeing the wheel yet. And by the way, anybody that happens to be watching tonight, we are on a brand new streaming platform. It is called EV Mux, and I really like sitting here backstage and seeing all of the things that can happen here. But I'm also speaking for a little while to give Cosmic Grandpa.
Something is not working quite right because I see it on my preview, but it's not quite right there. Give me a second.
Is anybody else seeing the conspiracy wheel? Because I am not.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. No problem. In the meantime, we can continue. So, you were saying, do you remember what you were talking about when your friend said you were getting conspiratorial?
Yes. It was something like to the effect of, do you believe in like magic bullets when talking about the JFK thing? I was like, do you think that the bullet, like, because he was talking, he was like, well, that's a conspiracy. I was like, oh, so you believe in magic bullets? And he was like, you know what? He got mad at me. Or he didn't get mad at me, but he was like, I don't like your conspiratorial angle with that question. I'm like, so you do believe in magic bullets, okay?
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you know that the term conspiracy theorist was, in fact, created by the CIA to,
After the JFK.
keep...
Yeah.
Yep, after the JFK thing. And let me ask you this. As far as the, like, mainstream acceptance of... We all know we were lied to about the JFK assassination, about how, like, if you were to put a percentage of Americans on the, I don't believe the official story spectrum, like, what do you think the percentage is?
I don't know, because I used to believe it at school when I first heard it. and I would actually I actually remember defending it in class and going, clearly these people are just going out of their way, like it just happened, blah blah blah. I was actually like almost anti-conspiracy. No, I wasn't almost. I was, and then the more I looked into it, I was like, no, these details are weird. But there are things that I don't. Everyone has their things that they refuse to believe, and everyone also has the things that they do believe. Um, like for example, I'm biased towards the alien stuff, so I do believe in that just because I really love the idea of it. I think it's really cool. Um, uh, but then, I mean, I don't. In terms of the JFK thing, I don't know. I don't know. I think most people don't think about it that much, to be honest. And I think that's ultimately where, if they don't think about it, that means they don't think it was a conspiracy, or they're like, I guess it could have been. That's where I think most people are at. Is most people are like their default state is the official narrative, but I don't think people are like most people are as set in stone as maybe they were on some point.
Well, Donald Trump just released it. He just declassified it. It will be released to us publicly very soon.
Right. So
Wow.
that's what Flatus Assfire says is didn't Trump just declassify the JFK files? Now, in declassification, and Bruce, I think you follow these kind of lines quite a bit more than I do. Do you think it's going to be like heavily redacted declassification or like full declassification? I don't know.
I believe there will be redactions, but there was a great podcast that somebody did that broke down the JFK assassination to such a degree that they actually had the names of all the shooters. They had the positions all the shooters were in, and the guy who actually took the shot that took him out was apparently the guy in the sewer that angled upwards and caught him underneath his chin and blew his brains out the back of the.
Wow, wait, that is a version I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I just found that out myself.
In the
It's really
sewer? That's
is
an insane shot.
dude. Like I
That's almost
literally
crazier than the official story, if that's true.
6 months ago, I watched a really great documentary that this huge fan of Flip City Magazine named Prison Palace. She was showing on her channel where it was the first time I heard anything about a sewer shooter. And I was like, that's fascinating. And then it makes me like, it is why, like, I know for sure I can always be gaslit and I can always be fooled.
Everyone can. Everyone's capable of it. We've all been gaslit before in some way.
And
Heck
the
yeah.
and the original body, the body of JFK wasn't really JFK's body. It was a body of a police officer who
What?
resembled. It was a body of a police officer who resembled him, and was killed by a CIA agent, and then thrown on a slab, and thrown in a coffin on the airplane where JFK's body was, and some doctor, an ME, tried to mimic his face or something. This was this documentary, whatever you want to call it. It was wild. If I could find it again, Christy, I'll send it to you so you can get it to Vaughn. It'll blow him away.
Wow.
All right. And I have to. I'm sorry. I need to address this, Jay James. I had not heard this, but so Jay James says yes. He executive ordered the.
That's cool. Yeah.
Junior or the JFK assassination there and let Vaughn spin the wheel because everybody loves the wheel. Are you ready to spin it, Vaughn?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Everybody's been waiting for us to spin the wheel.
Yep. All right. It looks like. Ooh, is it going to be giants? No, occult knowledge. So basically, hidden knowledge. Do you know anything about it? Or just want to make something up?
Uh, let's see. Let's do another one.
All right, we're spinning again. Let's do it. Probably legacy media, I'm thinking. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff to talk about that.
All right, let's go one more. Spin it one more time.
Oh, you're stuck with the last one.
All right.
All right.
Oh my god. Of all the wait. Transgender, come on. That's the worst option. I should have stuck.
Well, you're stuck with it,
All right,
and
so
now
what's
you
the
must expose
conspiracy about
yourself.
what's the conspiracy about transgenderism?
I can't tell you. This is your.
I was supposed to come up with a theory about
Yeah.
a conspiracy so implies like people get together, right?
Yes.
What is your take on the conspiracy of the transgenderism as a whole? Why are we seeing so much of it over the last 8 years?
I think because in general we're getting people who are really confused in life, and we're being told that if you do this, you take these hormones and everything. I think that like maybe pharmaceutical companies might benefit off of it. I think also a bunch of people want to feel valid who maybe have gender dysphoria and whatever, and they want to make it seem like it's a bigger thing than it is, perhaps. I think that's all part of it. I think even just the removal of gender, I think it's because they want it to make it seem like it's people that don't want to believe that there's huge differences between men and women. I think that's kind of where it started, is that people don't want to see that there's inherent differences between men and women. Because even in one of my classes at college, I remember they was taught as a fact, oh, you know, gender is different from sex. And it's like, well, that's a theory. It's not a fact, you know? And so I think it kind of starts from that and the whole blurring of the lines. And once everything becomes a social construct, then you could be anything you want. And biology doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't know if that counts as a conspiracy theory. I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I think, I mean, okay, so like you said, what you were told in college at one point is that, you know, gender is different than sex, right? Didn't people have to come together in the educational, because it's kind of universal across higher education. Everybody has to be on that same page or you get canceled, right?
Oh, that's part of it too. Is people?
So don't
keep
people
buying
have to
into
come together and agree on that?
Yeah, people are afraid to speak out. If you're writing a paper, you have to have ideas you don't really believe because you want to get a good grade and you just want to pass the class, and you just want to keep your job. And there's now DEI standards that are saying you have to do this. There's employers that are saying that, and it's a bunch of people that are afraid because they're like, you can't ask any questions. And I'm not like anti, trans or anything, but I'm like, you should ask questions. You should, especially if you're gonna change the way you live your life and possibly have surgery and hormones. Yeah, you should ask questions, even if you're pro. Like, yeah, some people can do that. You should ask like a million questions before you start doing it. We're not allowed to ask any.
Yeah. So wouldn't that imply that multiple people across multiple segments of
Are working
society,
together. A
education and
conspiracy.
medical and
Yeah.
all that.
All right, so I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
So,
conspiracy.
so what Geeks Do Network just put it out there. The theory is trans is imposed to break up the family units and distort society.
Mm.
So I would tend to agree with some of that. But apparently there's a really cool other conversation going on in the chat between Jay James and Levi Skeen. Jay James and Levi Skeen worked together back in the day, apparently.
Oh,
And
I didn't know.
Levi Skeen doesn't remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting because I know Jay James has just been all over the place, kind of doing his conservative art and has his own thing going on. That's really interesting.
Apparently, it was very long ago in another universe, and I want to hear the backstory to that at some point. So, Jay James, we're inviting you on the show.
I think probably we need to have a FAFO show on the sooner side because it's been a while, and we'll make sure Levi and Jay James come on at the same time. That will be fantastic. Hey, so Vaughn, let me ask you this, just because we're on the transgender topic. I'm assuming you'd like to get married and have children.
That would be cool, yeah. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So, on the whole transgender thing, is that something that you feel like at this point where society lies on it, you feel like you would need to like protect your children or warn them or anything like that? Okay, and so let's just take it here. Like, say you have a 6-year-old that in first grade their teacher is telling the same thing that you learned in college. Sex and gender are different things. Like, how do you think you'd handle that?
I'm going to the school right away. Why are you teaching this to my kid?
Absolutely.
What do you do? Pull them out of the classroom, possibly.
Yeah.
With a lawsuit in one hand and a baseball bat in the other.
No.
Oh,
You're not telling my kid. You're not teaching my kids this. You're teaching my kid. Yeah. No.
All right.
And I guess that's one of the things is I'm like people are more open, whatever. But then as soon as it gets to the kids, then it's like whoa.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it becomes like the fact that because I'm not even. I mean, the fact that I just immediately, no hesitation, I'm like, go to the school. No, not okay. It's like, yeah, it says something. There's a gut response to that I think most parents have. And I think that's where the line is going to be.
I think so too. And everything is fluid in society. Like, I think that's another reason I don't freak out so much in my own life. Like, yeah, we're in a time that's like, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Right, and weird. Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, I'll speak out against it, but I'm not going to freak out that much, like, culture's dead, society's dead. Although I've seen a lot of black pill stuff. Anyway, we're not going to go into that. I just got to say, Jay James, even putting in brackets doesn't make it private, okay? You're in a public chat. What does Geeks Do have to say? Oh, sorry, hold on. What's Cause? Oh, Cause popped up his own chat and I didn't see it.
Way to go, What Geeks Do Network.
He's I agree, Cause.
What Geeks Do Network is saying that he's going to homeschool his kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially if you get $10,000 from the Trump administration to homeschool your kids, like imagine all the stuff. I mean, you can literally homestead on that shit. Like have 3 kids, you get $30,000 and like you teach them actually how to live. Like how joyous is that?
One of my friends was homeschooled. His mother used to take him on field trips all the time. They used to go to the city religiously.
All right, cool. Well, I think we're out of conspiracy corner. I'm going to take off my hat and we're going to wrap it up for tonight because I think we made Vaughn sufficiently uncomfortable.
I don't think so. I'm fine.
Okay, good.
We can
I'm
roll.
glad.
We can roll.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm glad. Okay. Anyway, so Vaughn, we're gonna close it out tonight. Thank you so much for coming to Creative Chaos, and
Thank you
I'm
for having me.
super-
It's been a pleasure. This is a great show, really well organized. That it was segment after segment after segment. Really good stuff. Glad it came out.
Well, and I've got to say, major shout out to Cosmic Grandpa for making it so I don't have to push the buttons and screw it all up, you know? So,
No,
thank
I
you,
can screw it up
Cos.
for both of us.
You know, we are in a transitionary period, and it was not even bad because we did get to talk about JFK a little bit tonight, and I got to make a fool of myself.
Which you didn't know was so topical.
Saying RFK meant JFK Jr. And I was like, oh, QAnon, proof. He's alive. And he's really hot. And made that George magazine. Anyway. All right, we're closing out for tonight. So, Vaughn, what do you want people to do? Like, from here?
Well, go so you can look up my name on all socials. Follow me on whatever one you can. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Most importantly, go to my website, rebeloasisstudios.com. From there, if you go to the Coming Soon section, you could check out the campaign links for issue 2. It's available on Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and Fund My Comic. Back on the platform of your choice. Join the email list. That is on my website as well. And you could even just buy issue 1. If you want to get issue 1, you could buy it from my website right now. Thank you. Yeah, you could buy issue 1 from my website and we'll be able to ship it. But if you'd rather them ship together, you can back the catch-up tier on issue 2. So either way, make sure to get there. If we get the more we fund, the more rewards you get for issue 2. So
Very good.
Including some collector's cards.
Yes, including some. If we hit 10K across all platforms, everyone gets a trading card. So.
Nice. So we're not going to Flip City brand this young man tonight, huh?
Oh shit! I forgot. I lied. We're not leaving.
Okay.
Vaughn.
Okay.
You have to be branded.
I have to be Brandon. All right.
Yeah.
You got it.
You ready?
Not Brandon.
Look at
branded.
Branded.
Thank you guys in the chat.
We're branding him. I can't believe I forgot. Thank you so much. This is why I have a co-host. Everybody, my brain no work so good sometimes. All right. We're branding you. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Vaughn, we're branding you.
Right.
I still don't have a stinger. I feel like eventually we'll still never have a stinger. All right. So,
I got an idea for one, but we'll talk about that after the show. Cattle branding, you get a cartoon of a cattle
Oh,
being
yeah.
branded.
We can talk about that backstage because
Okay.
that was something, yes. All right. We're branding you, but not in any kind of weird sex cult way. It's just a Flip City branding.
That's not where my brain was going anyway. So that's.
Oh, well, it's
I
always
wouldn't have
where
even
my
thought that,
brain
to be
goes.
honest with you. Mine was thinking of cows and stuff, like what Bruce Wayne was saying. Anyway, continue.
All right. So you're basically how it works, how you get Flip City branded is you have to read a small piece of content from Flip City magazine.
Okay.
And this, what I have prepared for tonight, cause if you can bring it up and remind me. We've got alphabet agencies. The reason I chose alphabet agencies is I'm sure everybody watching this stream, and probably you participating in it, Vaughn, knows about Doge, right? We're cutting government down to as much of a bare minimum. Fingers crossed, right?
Right.
But I gotta let you know, Flip City has told you about alphabet agencies that you probably didn't know about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to read you in, and then you have a choice of reading one of, I think, 5 different alphabet agencies that are going to be cut by Doge. Are you ready to get into it?
They're going to be cut by Doge?
Yes.
Like, for real?
Well, just remember you're on a satire magazine.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, here
Okay,
we go.
I was like confused. I was like, what? All right, there we go.
Here we go. So everyone fears those three-lettered cringe-inducing acronyms like FBI, CIA, NSA, CDC, ad infinitum. As it always seems to be, government creates these agencies in the name of managing problems. That is, they always manage to turn them into bigger problems to keep paychecks coming. With that, here are some of the truly terrifying and awful new alphabet agencies.
All right.
Now, here is a slide showing your choices of the one you want to read. We've got the Department of Nuclear and Petroleum Ridicule, Hip Hop Disbursement Agency,
Okay.
Department of Perpetual January 6th Hysteria, the Bureau of Universal Menstruation, and the National Archives of Adult Services, otherwise known as NADS. Which one would you like to read
For
about?
historical purposes, I suppose.
Of course.
Of course, yeah, it's
Because
important.
they're all getting cut
Oh, they're all getting cut, so I have to save one.
by Doge. Oh well, it depends on your read.
Wait, what?
Really?
What was the other option? They're all getting cut except for one, or
Well,
we...
I mean, Doge. This is on the list of cuts by Doge, right?
So I'm
I
saving
guess when
one, or am I cutting one?
basically you're just reading about one.
Oh,
You're going to
okay.
read the history of the actual agency.
Okay.
Right. So if you like it, you can read it
God,
in
these
an
are-
upbeat way.
I'm gonna go because I'm debating which is the best and which is the funniest. I'm gonna go with the National Archives of Adult Services. I want to see their intellectualization of this.
He's going with NADS, everybody. He likes NADS. Vaughn likes NADS. Or doesn't like it. We'll find out.
NADS, National Archives of Adult Services. NADS. NADS ensures that all adult-themed publications, print and video from the earliest 20th century smut to the latest website content will be preserved for posterity and intensive study by future generations. Contents will be available in the department's online archives. No login required. All ages welcome. Physical archives. Office is always at full staff. Pants optional. Latex gloves recommended. Department will scrutinize pornography in any end mediums. Really hardly constantly forwarding email and escort ad phone numbers directly to President of the United States for approval.
Very good. Well, let me ask you this. Is that something that we should keep around or have Doge cut?
You know, I think they're all doing that at home anyway. I'm gonna have to cut that one out.
Very good.
I
Very
think it's a
good.
waste of resources. Got to be honest with you. We already have. We just. You have the NSA. You know what's downloaded because you have the NSA. So.
I
And
think
they're probably
you're the
doing
new,
that anyway in the NSA. So.
You're the new Elon Musk.
I'm being economic, where it's a waste of. We're pretending like the other departments aren't doing that already.
It's a very, very good point. Well, Vaughn, I didn't let you know this. With the Flip City brand, you are always invited back to any of our Flip City FAFO streams where we basically fuck around and find out. And it's with a bunch of other indie creators, and it's basically all about Flip City. So you just have to
Awesome.
smile and have a good time with us.
All right, sounds good. I'd love to come back.
Good.
All right, I'll ask more in the future. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Well,
I enjoyed our earlier conversation, Vaughn. You're as much of a comic nerd as I am, and I appreciate that.
That's good. Well, we need more of them, right? We're running out. We're aging.
Yeah.
My generation, they're not as into it.
I'm gonna throw two titles at you.
Mm-hmm.
Strangers in Paradise by Terry Moore.
Terry Moore, yep.
It is not comic superheroes. It's more of a soap opera style comic. And the other one which is a little pornographic, but I think you'll appreciate it, is Omaha the Cat Dancer.
Omaha.
And then if you really, Omaha the Cat Dancer. And then if you really want to get crazy, go find Mike Barron's The Badger comic
Yeah,
series.
I've been meaning to read that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was my college go-to. So now you got 3 titles to look up.
Well, I mean,
Strangers in
obviously,
Paradise. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, obviously, Mike Barron knows who Vaughn is because he gave him a quote.
Yep. Mike's a great guy.
Yes,
So
he is.
It's time for you to finally read The Badger.
Yeah, I'll have to.
All right. We're going to do it again, you guys, because I screwed up and did not brand Vaughn earlier. Vaughn, one more time. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, so you could find me on all my socials. That's just Vaughn Coleman on everything. You could also find Rebel Oasis Studios, Rebel Oasis on any platform, depending on whether it was taken either Rebel Oasis or Rebel Oasis Studios. Go to my website, rebeloasisstudios.com. Join my email list. That's free. And then if you want to get the book, you could buy issue 1 right now. There's digital versions. You can go to globalcomics.com, which you can also find linked through my website, the digital store. But you can go there, read the first 10 pages online free, and then if you want it, you could buy the physical product or you could buy the digital for just $5. Either way, the option is there. Whether you want to read it digitally or physically is up to you, but you get a free sample thrown right your way. And of course, if you like that, you can back issue 2. So wherever you decide to go there and support Phenomenova. And the more money this gets, the more confident I am to keep pumping out content. You know, I'd love to do this as often as possible and spread the net as wide as possible, but that's all dependent on how much funding I can get and how many fans I can get. So share it out if you like the book and, read it any way you can. And really appreciate it.
We were poking you
Excellent.
while you were
Love
doing it.
No, I was busting Gladys ass fire because he was like, "Stop poking me," because I put my finger in the camera. But Vaughn, I really appreciated our conversation, as I said earlier. Yeah, really cool. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And you guys can find me along with Cosmic Grandpa on Sunday nights, not just here, but on Sunday nights with our own show, 3 Beer Men. And you can look that up by going to the number 3 beermen.tv. And you can catch us there Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Big Apple time, 4 o'clock avocado time, East Coast, West Coast. And then everything else in between. You know your time zones. I'll let you figure it out.
It's really a great show for beer lovers, tech lovers, Cosmic
Pop
Grandpa
culture.
puts
Oh, it's done on
and
YouTube.
pop culture. It is not well. Actually,
That's interesting. See, because YouTube is my default, and I know it's probably censors the heaviest of all the platforms, and yet it's my default. But I just looked it up.
You might
3
still
Beer
be
Men
able-
is on YouTube if you search for 3 Beer Space Men, but we don't actually post to that channel.
Oh.
We actually just came back to
YouTube
on the Madness Comic Network. So if you look up Madness Comic Network, which I believe is now Madness Entertainment Group on YouTube, we're live there. You're live there right now.
All right.
Madness Entertainment Group on YouTube.
Sounds good. All right. Thank
And
you.
3
It's
Beer
great
Men
to
is
meet you.
there, trying to keep from getting Madness kicked off of YouTube. We discontinued YouTube about 3 years ago during the big purge, and we figured we would just be proactive because we knew we'd be next.
Anyway,
And of course,
Pops
Pops
sorry,
just
go
jumped
ahead.
in and goes, Pops just jumped in and goes, "I don't trust any of them.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of them," as he sounds on his TV show. Love
Yeah.
Strangers in Paradise. I own the entire run in floppy. Ooh. J.
J.
James
James. J.
pulls it,
James.
pulls it out.
It's been a
Strangers in
while,
Paradise.
friend.
Great stories. Great stories.
Anyway. All right. Time for me to plug my own thing on my own channel, y'all.
What you waiting for,
It's
boss?
great to see you come out from behind the curtain again. So thank you also for figuring out on the live stream how to get the conspiracy wheel on. Appreciate you so much.
That is the first bug that I found in EV Mux, and I will be on the phone with EV Mux tech support in the morning.
Fantastic.
Ask him about my microphone and my microphone and my audio dropping
You
out.
got it working.
Oh yeah, that too.
I had to jump out 3 times to get it to work.
Yeah. That scared me. I was like, oh no, I don't have Batman here to like fill in the pop culture references. Anyway,
we're working out
you
the
guys,
bugs. This is. Go ahead, Christy.
Yeah, that's all in the past. We're gonna figure it out and get even smoother in the future. Vaughn, again, thank you so much for coming. And you guys, anybody that subscribes tonight will get volume 22 in the mail immediately. Not immediately, but like pretty freaking soon, because we will put you in with our last batch of fulfillment for volume 22, and it's free. It's absolutely free, so you're going to get a subscription of 5 magazines for your first year with Flip City, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed. You will laugh out loud. It's been told to us over and over. This is the first time I've read a thing in over 20 years that has made me laugh out loud. We are basically the new Mad and Cracked magazine, with a little bit more of an edge. So anybody that's new here, doesn't know what Flip City is, go check us out on flipcitymag.com. If you subscribe tonight before midnight Pacific, so you have another 4.5 hours to do it, you will get volume 22 for free. And it's awesome. Thank you.
And Levi Skeen just put it out there. Flip City Draw streams Saturday on the Madness Comic Network.
Levi, I'm so sorry I did not put it in my notes, and I meant to mention that. I have 2 things on Saturday I'm going to be on. I'm doing Foxhole Squares in the evening time. I couldn't even tell you how to freaking find it. Look for Coffee Talk with Sandra on pilled.net, and you will find Pilled Squares or Foxhole Squares over there. I'm going to be on that as a square. I'm expecting to have a great time. Also, earlier in the morning, like Levi says, I'm going to be on the Madness Entertainment Group live draw stream. We are going to wrap up the collaboration that we're doing with them, where people are live drawing serial killers and the women who love them, with the working title of But I Love Him. So if you have illustrative skills and want to live draw on a stream, come join us. Look up Levi Skeen, look up at Kitty Flip City on X, and we will get you a link to join and live draw and talk shit basically on Levi. That's kind of what happens with me and Omer Glitch. So check us out there. And yeah, thank you, Madness Entertainment Group. Thank you, Bruce Q. Wayne. Thank you, Cosmic Grandpa. You are a fantastic producer. And Vaughn, again, thank you for joining us. If you want to hang out backstage, you can, but you look like you're itching to get out of here.
No, I've just been, honestly, here's what the truth is. I've just been waiting to pee. That's the honest to God excuse.
You can pee and hang
I just didn't want to interrupt you. That's
with
it.
us.
No, I'll happily hang out. That was the first thing, because I didn't want to give the impression I want to leave. I literally just have to piss. That's
too much.
All right. We're gonna end the stream so you can pee, and we'll see you backstage.
See you backstage.
Everybody, and this is what we literally
back
wave.
Phenomenova.
Yes, back Phenomenova.
But yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary,
bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.